It's Sunday, November 7, 2021. A lot to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. So much happening, a lot of crazy stuff. Before I start this video, please make sure you come over to my Patreon channel. There is a new Patreon channel, link down below in the description box. So if you're going to the old one, it's not there. So make sure you go to the link down below in the description box. That's where the new Patreon channel is. So if you really want to help this channel, support this channel, get the message out, just go to the link down below, go to Patreon. But without further ado, I want to get right into this video. So much happening. They just passed this 1.2 trillion with a T, infrastructure bill. Who's paying for it? You're paying for it. They're going to increase taxes, no doubt about that, and they're going to print a lot more money. And so we know that there is no doubt in my mind, I know no doubt in your mind, that there's no doubt at all that we are going to see inflation continue to rise in America. Look out for 2022. Inflation is coming. It is not going away. But I was reading this article on Zero Hedge today, and it talked about where $550 billion of this $1.2 trillion is going. It's going to roads, bridges, public transit. It's going to Amtrak, broadband internet. It's going to the electric grid, electric cars and buses, great rivers and lakes, clean drinking water, airports, and road safety. And that all sounds wonderful, doesn't it? It really does. But where is the other $700 billion going? It's going to places like this: $250 million for the congestion relief program, which will impose fees for parking and driving during peak hours. It's going to universities. Universities going to get $400 million, $75 million for studying how to enact income-based road usage, $750 million for the Washington Metro Area Transit Authority, $500 million for Transportation Resilience and Adaptation Center, $500 million for tree equity. I mean, this is shocking. So nearly $1 trillion going to other places other than infrastructure. Some people may think this is a great thing. Some people may not think it's a great thing. I'm just thinking about how it's going to be paid for. It's going to be paid through more taxation and more money printing, which is going to hurt the middle class. It's going to hurt the poor. It's going to hurt this economy, ladies and gentlemen. So this tells me right here that we don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out what's coming in 2022. More taxes, more inflation, more money printing, and this means that this is probably more than likely going to impact you like it's going to impact me. Did the Fed just set the stock market up for a crash? Article on The Hedge today. There is significant concern. While the market rally has been impressive, rising to all-time highs, the market is now back to more overbought levels. Buying stampedes always get followed by selling stampedes. This is very interesting, these markets. Every day you turn on the TV, it seems like there's a new market high. Every week, something more and more unusual happens. Squid Game crypto token falls 99.9% in just minutes. Tesla adding billions of dollars in value over a deal with Hertz that they've never even signed yet. Or are they ever going to sign it? It doesn't matter. Went up billions of dollars. U.S. stock market hitting fresh all-time highs literally every day. All of which begs the question, are we in a bubble, ladies and gentlemen? Please comment down below. Let me know what you think. Are we in a bubble right now? I think we are in a massive bubble. That's me. I could be completely wrong. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. The latest CAPE ratio for the S&P 500 index is 38x, close to the all-time high, which was 44x back in 2000. For all of those out there with a short memory, that was just before the dot-com bubble burst and markets crash. Now, people will just say, well, look, it came back. Don't worry about it. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be much different, much different. I think most of you would admit that you've never seen anything like this. The debts are skyrocketing. The recklessness in these markets, people now believing that there's absolutely no risk, no concern, people just full-blown gambling now. And I'm going to tell you, this is what really worries me, is the perception that people have now that these markets are immune, that they're bulletproof, that they cannot fall, they cannot crash. The Fed will just come in and save the day. This is really scary because this means people are completely unprepared for a crash. They're completely unprepared for an economic downturn. And when people can't gamble in these markets or in these cryptos, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Most people have no skills. Most people have everything in these markets now, doubling down, doubling down, doubling down. They make money, they double it down the next week. And nobody's putting anything away for a rainy day. Nobody's putting anything away for an emergency because they just believe that it's going to continue to go on forever. And this is just shocking that people actually believe this. And unfortunately, it's a lot of younger people who've never seen an economic downturn, a correction, a crash, a Great Depression. People haven't read their history, ladies and gentlemen. The Great Depression, markets were roaring right up to the very end before that crash in 1929. Jerome Powell just said last week that the Fed is in no hurry to raise rates. But when we look at rising wages, we look at these record job openings, we look at these record job numbers, all these people going back to work, why not raise rates? If things are so good right now, if the economy is growing, if the economy is roaring back, if people are going back to work, why can we not raise interest rates? Now, everybody's going to tell me I'm pessimistic, I'm negative, I'm a doom and gloomer. Answer me this. Why can we not raise interest rates? Answer me that. If things are so good, why do we have over 100 million people not in the labor force? How come we cannot raise interest rates? And how come we still have the Fed buying nearly $120 billion a month of mortgage-backed securities and treasuries? He knows, Mr. Powell and the Fed knows inflation is much higher than it is. And he knows investors are highly, highly, highly leveraged in these markets. And he knows exactly what's going to happen when he raises interest rates. The Fed has ignored the inflation risk, ladies and gentlemen. They're ignoring it, but they know it's there. But this is a big, big mistake because the longer we ignore this inflation risk, we have a higher chance of inflation getting out of control. And we know real inflation is somewhere around 13.5%, not 5.4%. But we have inflation creeping up now. People are still able to function with it. They're still out there spending. They're dealing with it. But at what point do they not become able to deal with the inflation? 5.4%. It seems to be hurting the economy quite a bit, but people are still out there putting gas in the cars. They're out and about. They're playing golf today. Everybody's doing their thing. But we know this economy is hurting. But at what point, when we see inflation at 6.4%, 7.5%, then real inflation will be at 15%, 20%, right? But at some point, there's a breaking point where people are just not going to be able to adjust to this inflation. But we have inflation creeping up with a very, very weak economy right now. And this is going to continue to cause crisis in this economy. The Fed should be tapering monetary policy and hiking rates right now to prepare for the next recessionary downturn. They're not doing anything. They're letting this thing go. And we're going to have a real monster on our hands here because they're letting this thing get more and more out of control. And this means, in my opinion, that they're probably going to have to raise rates more times than anticipated. They may have to raise rates higher than anticipated to get a hold of this thing. They kept monetary policy too loose for too long. And again, this is why we have inflation beginning to run wild. This is why we have an economy in crisis. And this is why we're going into a depression, ladies and gentlemen, not a recession. They're going to tell you it's a recession. By the time they tell you it's a recession, it will be a full-blown depression. Complacency has returned to the market. However, there are numerous reasons to be mindful of the risk, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I know you'll turn on the television tomorrow. The stock market's going to be up. Markets across the board will probably be up. Why shouldn't they be? We just passed another $1.2 trillion. The printing presses are firing up. Look, it's a green light, full steam ahead. The utopia will continue. And people will be complacent. They're going to turn on the television tomorrow and they're going to just buy into this whole illusion, hook, line, and sinker. But earnings and profit growth are too high. Stagflation is becoming more prevalent. Inflation indexes continue to rise. Economic data is surprising to the downside. Supply chain issues continue to be more persistent. Inventory problems continue to be unabated. Valuations are high by all measures. Interest rates are beginning to rise. And as I read all this and as I watch this stuff on a daily basis, and I don't give financial advice, but I just got this yesterday from SD Bullion. And people ask me on a daily basis, where's a reputable place, JB, to buy gold and silver? SD Bullion. I have a link right down below in the description box. Now look, I don't own a gold mine. I don't own SD Bullion, but I've been buying from SD Bullion for over a couple years now. My friends, my family members, my mom, everybody buys from SD Bullion. So if you're in the market to buy some hard physical silver or gold, a real hard asset, I highly recommend SD Bullion. I just got this buffalo right here. Came in yesterday. Stunning, isn't it? And look, I don't give financial advice. You want to buy cryptos, go buy cryptos. But this to me makes me sleep good at night, knowing that I can access this. I have my metals in multiple locations. And this is a real hard physical asset right here. And this has been proven since the beginning of time to be real money. And when times get bad, this is what countries run to. It's been through every world war, every Great Depression, every economic collapse, every fiat collapse right here, 5,000 years of history. This little coin right here, this little yellow stuff right here is mentioned hundreds of times in the Bible. And in fact, parts of heaven are built by this creation that God made right here. Streets of gold in heaven right here. God loved gold so much and silver that he put them in the Bible and even put them in heaven. This stuff, ladies and gentlemen, is never going to go away. It's never going to go away. This is economic safety. People say you can't eat this stuff. I disagree, because people in Venezuela right now are shaving gold into grams, and they're buying food. And they're buying products with grams of this. They're taking nuggets and shaving grams off the nugget to go buy food and to buy products in parts of Venezuela today, right now. So look, I don't give financial advice. You can buy cryptos. You can buy cryptos and gold. That's even better, right? But I do believe it's super, super important to have hard assets like gold and silver where you can get them in a safe place. Again, people say you can't eat them, but there's people in Venezuela using it to buy food. And throughout history, we can go back hundreds of years, thousands of years, people have always used gold to buy food. Now, I certainly don't want to use this to buy food. That's why I put emergency food away. That's why I take my hard-earned money right now and I go buy emergency food. So I don't have to use that in a time of emergency, okay? In a time of emergency, that's when there's going to be sales. That's when this has massive value. The worse the times get, this has more purchasing power. So I highly recommend you have some. Again, SD Bullion, link down below. I don't care if you buy it, you don't buy it. I don't care where you buy it from. I know people are worried that I'm making money because I have a link down below. I don't care where you buy it from. I don't care if you buy it. I'm just sharing with you today with the camera and the microphone what I'm buying, okay? And there's a lot of other things that could be much more fun to buy than this, okay? But that's what I choose right now to make some sacrifices in my life, cut out some things in my life. Maybe I'm not gonna, fly to Hawaii this year. Maybe I'm just gonna continue to buy stuff like this, because to me right now, this stuff's on sale, and I'm buying things that are on sale, not things in bubbles. Here's another article, CNBC, restaurants face new challenge, a shortage of takeout containers and coffee cups. Here's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. While people think everything is phenomenal. While people are out gambling, restaurants can't even get coffee cups. They can't even get straws. Do we not make any of this here in America today? Do we not make anything? And if we do, I guess we don't have the materials here that we have to import the styrofoam or the papers or the plastics. We can't even make straws and cups here in America. And again, when I read stuff like that, that's why I'm doing what the Chinese are doing. This is why I'm doing what the Russians do. This is why I'm doing what the Indians are doing. Okay, India, Russia, China stockpiling this stuff. The Central Bank of Poland going to buy 100 tons of this in 2022. This is what central banks are buying, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what I'm buying. I'm buying what's on sale. And as long as they want to keep playing the game and knocking these prices down, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to continue to back up the truck and buy the sales. That's me. That's me. Comment down below. I could be 100% wrong, and you may be 100% crypto. I get it. You have to do what you have to do. But I think the farther we get out of the system, the better off we all are. Evictions are still banned in these states, CNBC. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the worst is yet to come in regards to this economy. But we look at Connecticut, Virginia, Oregon, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Washington, D.C. all have rental eviction limits tied to the rental assistance process that will last until 2022. We don't even know how bad it is because they're putting these limits on these evictions. So we don't even know how bad things really are. 3 states have statewide eviction ban: New York, New Jersey, and New Mexico. They still have a ban throughout the state that you cannot evict tenants. New Mexico, renters cannot be evicted. They don't even have a time frame yet of when you can evict somebody in New Mexico. New York, New Jersey, they can be evicted beginning in January. But who knows? That could be extended too. So we're living in a country now where we have multiple states that won't even allow people to be evicted while they're not paying their rent. We have over 1 million homes in mortgage forbearance. We have 3 states with a statewide eviction ban. You can't even evict these people. They're living for free. So how many people in America now are just living for free? How many people are living in homes, not paying on a mortgage? I've never seen anything like it. I'm going to close with this last article. China trade surplus hits record just as U.S. trade deficit rises to all-time high. China exports through October have already exceeded all of 2020. How about America? Not even close. The world cannot get enough products made in China. China's had power outages, it's had floods, lockdowns, and a accelerating collapse in the property sector, Fantasia, Evergrande, etc. But yet Beijing reported yet another record monthly trade surplus as exports soared. Export growth up 27.1% year over year in October. Record high right here in America, $84.5 billion trade surplus in October. So America's not making a whole bunch. America's not exporting a whole bunch. America's waiting on coffee cups, straws, and styrofoam containers for restaurants because we can't make them. We can't even ship them. Yet people think that this is what a recovery looks like, ladies and gentlemen. People think that there's no risk, there's no danger out there. People think everything is going to be okay, and tomorrow we will turn on the television and the markets will be exploding, I'm sure. Most people can be fooled by all that. I'm not. I'm going to continue to buy stuff like this. I'm going to continue to sit back, stack cash, stack gold, stack silver, and exercise patience. Because I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, just my opinion, comment down below, something very, very big is coming in regards to this economy, and it is going to be horrific. I don't know any other word to explain it. It is going to be absolutely horrific. And the scary thing is, people will look back and say, I didn't think this could happen. How could this happen? What am I going to do now? Everything I have is gone. Everything on the computer screen, all those digits, gone. All those paper stocks, gone. And God help us if we get into massive cyber warfare. God help us if grids go down. People are not prepared to deal with reality. People are not prepared to deal with an economic collapse. People have been playing literally a video game, betting on what new fake money is going to go up next week. I'm going to stay with this 5,000 years of history, ladies and gentlemen, God's money. And I'm going to tell you, we are in a spiritual war right now. And you better get right with God, and you better get right with your money, because you are watching the biggest wealth transfer in world history take place. And they're robbing people every day. And they're going to do more with technology. And if you don't hold it, ladies and gentlemen, you don't own it. And there's never been a time, in my personal opinion, where it's been more important to hold your wealth, not on a computer screen, okay? Not in a bank, but to hold it where you can get to it. God bless you all. Thanks for watching. Share this video. Give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, why haven't you? Subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I'll talk with all of you soon.